Hey guys, how are you today? This is Darla with Stampin' with Chaos. I'm gonna jump in and do this video and get this posted for you this morning. I'm running a little bit late. I seem to be doing that a lot these days. But I'm finishing up my big order for my thank yous for my fishing club, and I made this one and I thought, oh my gosh, this would be the cutest little video. So let's just jump into it and get going. I'm using our Gone Fishing DSP and our Pebble Path cardstock and very vanilla. So it turned out really super cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and put you down. So I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 Pebble Path and I cut it at 4 1/4. And then I scored it at 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. So I did it on this side and then I did it on this side. So what you're going to do is then you're going to fold it so it folds right in half. Then I'm going to take our very vanilla, and I'm trying to see if I did. I think I did. Yeah. We're going to take our Pebble Path card stock, and I cut these. You need 2 pieces, and I cut them at 4 by 2.5. And I'm going to take our Pebble Path, and I'm just going to lightly go over it with a blending brush. So remember how we stamp on and then punch off, and then you're just going to kind of go over it just to kind of tone it down a little bit. So it's not so starky. So it's not so bleh, so bright. Okay? I do this a lot to my whites and to my very vanillas and my lighter stuff if I'm using other colors. See, it just gives it a little bit of something. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that to the 2 window sides. And most of it's going to get covered up with our DSP paper, but at least the edges you'll be able to see. Okay, put that one down. I think I got this one crooked. Hold on. We're going to pick it back up. I got stuff stuck everywhere. I'll tell you, these last couple weeks I've been so busy. My room is total chaos. Total chaos. Last night I had to, Paul came down to see how he was doing on them, and I looked at him, I said, I'm cleaning. I can't find anything. It was a disaster. Okay, now this one looks crooked. I'm a little wonky this morning, it looks like. Excuse me. Okay. It is full-blown allergy season for me. I don't know about you guys, but my neighbor's lilacs love me. Out at the office, there's something out in the field. I think it's alfalfa, and it is killing me. Okay, so this is our Gone Fishing DSP. This is from last year, and it is actually retired, but you can still find it every once in a while. People will be selling it. The one thing that you need to remember when you cut these 2 panels, you want your stripes going the same way. You don't want to cut one this way and then this one this way. So make sure that you cut your stripes going the same way. Does that make sense to you? Turn your paper. So whichever way you want your stripes running, make sure you cut 2 of the same. Okay, we're just going to adhere that down there. And like I said, these were 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. Okay. Man, I am wonky today. Sorry about that. Some days you got it and some days you don't. Okay. Then the next thing I did is I took another piece of our Pebble Path cardstock and I cut it 4 by 3. We're going to take another piece of vanilla, very vanilla, and it is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we're going to do the same thing with it. We're going to blend right over the top of it to add a little bit of color to the edges. Oh, my nose is going to start running. Thank you. Allergy season, thank you. I forgot my Zyrtec this morning, excuse me. Okay. And I really don't care how dark the middle is because it's going to be covered by DSP paper anyways. I just want to make sure I get a good around the edges. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the fishnet DSP. These are all double-sided too, by the way. I'm just going to show you the other side of, this is the other side of the stripes. So we're going to do the fishnet, and it's going to go right there. And I cut that at 3.5 by 2.5. So now I'm just going to adhere them all down. Get them all taped on. We've got some beautiful weather going on these next couple days, and then right in the middle on Saturday, it's supposed to rain again. It's like, where did that come from? Okay, let's put this down. Then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So this stamp set is actually close to my heart, which, you know, is no longer, and Stampin' Up! Has acquired it, so I don't feel bad using it. But it's called the Hooked on You Nature Stamp Set. It's really kind of cool. But I really got it because of the bass, and I got it for the chipmunk for my scrapbook pages. So we're going to go ahead and use it if I can find the bass stamp. What the heck did I do with it? I brought all my other stamps over. That's the main stamp that I need. Oh my goodness. Darla, Darla, Darla. Well, maybe we'll make it on the line without the bass. Okay, bear with me. Sorry about this. I had all this out from last night. There it is. Okay, whew, I found it. Okay, so we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to take our very vanilla that's going to go on top of this, and it is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. I got stuff all over me. You see this mark right here? This is from the other night. I have no idea why it will not come off, but it won't. I've scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. My daughter was laughing at me. Okay, and then we are going to take the bass stamp. I'm going to do it first because I want to kind of get it on there. We're going to get a good inking, but then I'm going to stamp off. And I'm doing it in the pebbled path as well. But then we're going to stamp off. So I'll get a lighter stamp on this. I don't want it super dark. And I'm just going to place him on there. Now I use this mat so that I can get a better stamp, especially one that has a lot of detail. So there we go with him. He's a little darker up there, but he'll be okay. And then the next stamp I'm using, it's this thank you stamp, and it is out of my Happy and Heartfelt stamps. And it's right there. It was perfect. It's nice, it's small, and it'll fit right on here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp on, and then I'm going to I stamped it backwards last night, so that one will work. Okay, make sure I get this off my finger so I don't get it on my paper. Okay, then we're going to come down here and hopefully get it straight. And it's crooked. Okay. So sometimes what I find is with these cling stamps with the red rubber, and I did not put the name on it. Okay, I'm going to try this again because I don't want that stamp crooked. Okay, so I'm going to realign this up. I played around with this last night and it was pretty late. So let's reline this up and see if I can get a good stamp on my paper so that it's straight. See, and it is still kind of crooked. And so sometimes I think our stamps get cut crooked. So now I'm going to take this and adjust it a little bit. Move it up a little. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to use this bottom thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, what I was trying to do was line up both of the points, and that is not going to work. So I'm just going to use that point right there, and we're going to use that as our lineup. So let's go ahead and try this again. So get a good stamp on our bass, stamp off, Then come back on to our Very Vanilla that is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then get a good stamp on him. That's better stamp anyways. And do the thank you the same way. So we're going to stamp off. Okay, and I'm going to line up this bottom point. That's what I'm going to look to line up. And I'm just mentally lining it up. Okay, and I want it about right there. Perfect. So what I was trying to do was line up these 2 red points, and it's cut to where that doesn't work. So it's a good thing to always stamp off on your paper just to see what the stamp looks like, especially if you haven't used it before. And I have so many I wouldn't remember anyway, so I would need to do that. Okay, so then this we're going to adhere onto the top of this. The one thing I forgot to do was I didn't go over it with I should have went over this with a blender brush real quick to kind of add a little color. So we're just going to do it real quick and hopefully don't mess it up. And that looks good. Just get a little bit of the vanilla toned down a little bit with the gray. Much better. I did this one plain at first, and then I'm like, it needs doodads. Everything needs doodads. You're thinking nobody's going to appreciate it, but somebody will. I'm sure somebody's going to appreciate it. The next thing is this is going to be our opener. So we don't want to glue it all down because we won't be able to open it. So we're only going to glue part of it down. And I'm going to use my tear and tape on this part just to make sure I get a good... So it's because when you open and close it, So we're going to put it on the edge part over here. I love tear and tape for the extra hefty duty. And then go in about that far, whatever you feel is the right amount. Oops. Okay. We're going to take this tear and tape off, maybe. And hopefully I put it on the right side. Sometimes on a little back-ass words. Okay. There we go. I love this. I think it just looks so cool. Okay, so we are going to do it about right there. Get a good, and then it's going to open up like that. Okay. We're going to slap a couple doodads on it. These are the 2025-2027 color flat pearls. I love this grayish, bluish, whatever it is. That's what we're going to use. They're a little darker, but they stand out good. Okay, now we're going to open up the card, and I have a piece of, I have the, oh shoot, and I need one more. Okay, is this the right size? Yeah, okay. So I have a piece of Very Vanilla, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. We're just going to give it a quick brush, blending brush. Like I said, you really only see the edges when it's being matted. So it's just kind of fun to get a little bit of a different. Ooh, that one went a little dark. So we're going to put that down, and then once we put our oh, I'm on a roll. Come on. My tape kit working. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. This is expensive. Let me grab another one real quick. I'm almost out. Every one of them. Let's see if this one has some. Okay. I only need a little bit more to get through this project. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this down. And then this is going to go over the top. So see, you don't even see a lot of it. You just see the edges where you can tell it's a little bit darker, which offsets that gray. It makes it stand out a little bit more. I absolutely love it. I love to dauber and blend. If you were to ask me what's one of the things I always do, and it's either dauber or blend. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. We are going to blend off on it. And we're going to do it very light because we're going to stamp on this. So we don't need it super dark. We just want to add a little bit of color. And one of the things you can also do is by adjust your pressure. So if you want it light, you do a light swirl. If you want it dark, you push harder. So I just want a light swirl. Okay. And then we're going to use our stamps, the ones I used the other night. I don't remember what they're, oh, these were off of my business stamp set. And it says, your support deserves a big, oh, I need my stamping thingy over here. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to use our thanks, which came out of the same stamp set. And I will have it listed, but it's one of our business stamp sets that we had. Okay. And then the last couple cards I was using the Versamark, and I was just going off on the Versamark and putting this, but I'm actually going to do the Pebbled Path, stamp off. I don't want it super dark, and then stamp on. Another good stamp, stamp off, and then stamp on. It's amazing what you can do by changing colors by just doing one or two things. Okay, and now we're going to adhere this down, and our card is done. Isn't that cute? Got a cute little fun fold. There we go. I hope you guys have a great day. I will get this posted, and I will be talking to you soon. This is Darla from Stampin' from Chaos. Have a good day.